having a very bad day. A very bad day. I am in no mood. This, today, is one of the worst days I've had in a very, very long time. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it, man. God damn it. I went to sleep, guys. I went to sleep last night in a fairly decent mood. I went to sleep last night, and Bruno or Boomoo, whatever blood clot he wants to call himself, Boomski, Boom Song, Boom Boom Boom, whatever. This guy, it sounded like, he chose Manchester United, So I was like, okay, cool, that's good. Start getting players, you start looking. I watched all his 20 Premier League goals. I was like, yeah, you know what? Good finishes. 5 penalties in there, some worldy volleys, good finish, right foot finish. I was like, yeah, okay, rocketed it in top corner. I was like, okay, cool. I'm picturing how he can work at Manchester United. And then I wake up this morning. To messages of, yo, it's wait until Cam wakes up. That was the first thing I saw in my group chat. It said, wait until Cam wakes up. I'm thinking, what? And then I saw Bruno Fernandes has said he wants to stay at the club. And then I was like, yo, I had already started spending that 100 million, bro. I had already started spending it. I was like, yo, okay, cool. So we're going to use this bit we're going to use on the framing. We're going to use on the framework. This bit we're going to use on the foundations. And in this bit, we're going to use on the windows. And then, in this bit, we're going to use on the interior. So we're just going to use 20 million on the interior. And then this 20 million, we're going to use on the flat screen TV and the gaming room. You know what I mean? And then we're going to have a spare 10 million. I started planning my house. And Bruno, he says he's staying at the football club after discussions with his family. It seems that his family don't want to move. I think they're probably settled at where they are. But it does say that Bruno wants to play at the top level in Europe. Nowhere in that message from Fabrizio, which we're going to wait and see if Bruno goes and does anything and puts anything out himself. But nowhere in that message from Fabrizio does it actually say that Bruno wants to stay at Manchester United. It actually just says he wants to stay at the top level in Europe. Are Man United playing on the top level in Europe? Unless you mean that's the Premier League. If that's the Premier League, then cool. But we're not playing at the top level in Europe. And when I think about the money, and when I think about the stage of that he's in his career, when is Bruno going to have the opportunity to play at the top level in Europe with Man United? When is Bruno going to have the opportunity to win a major, talking about Premier League or a Champions League with Manchester United? When? He's turning 31. We just finished 15th place. We're in the process of stripping it all back and signing again and rebuilding. When is Bruno going to have the opportunity? This has apparently been his best season this year, which everyone's saying this is Bruno's best year, best campaign. His best campaign led to Man United trophyless and 15th. And I'm not saying that's him. I'm saying this is the reality of the situation. His best season at Manchester United, we finished 15th and trophyless. So how much more has he got to give on his own personal level when it comes to achieving the goals that he might have in his career? So now when it says he wants to stay in Europe, it's making me think, does he want to stay in Europe? Does he want to stay at Man United, or does he just want to play at the top level for another team? So when I'm now thinking about it, I'm like, don't tell me, Bruno, you are about to stay at Manchester United. Well, you're about to reject Al Hilal, but try and go to another team in Europe. Because if that's the case, broski, you could have just made us lose out on about 60 million. Because how much is somebody going to buy Bruno in this market? That's not Al Hilal, that's not Al Nassr and all these type of teams. Thought I was rich. Mama, thought I made it. Thought I made it. False alarm. And that's nothing to do disrespect Bruno. If you guys know me, this season I haven't actually disrespected Bruno. This season I've actually just kept quiet on Bruno. Despite you don't know my kind of thoughts on Bruno as a player, but this season I've actually kind of really been calm because I think to myself, you're not a 15th place football player. You're not. Bruno's not a 15th place football player. He's not. He's contributed and he puts down numbers and whatever. He's been above Man United, probably above Man United's level this season. He has. So I've kept quiet. I'm very fair. Despite me not thinking that he's as good as maybe other people think, I've been very fair with it. But when I'm thinking about what that could have done for Man United economically, what it could have done for Man United rebuild-wise, I'm just thinking it feels like a little bit of a missed opportunity. Because now when I look at the team and I think about it as Bruno, and maybe we get another guy in, or I don't know, it better not be Ugarte, but if we get Bruno and someone in, and we have Ahmad at wing back, and you have Cunha and Buemu, and we'll see what happens up front, you start to think, is that balanced? Is that balanced? Because I was thinking maybe if we get some two controllers in the midfield, a controller, like a defensive-minded CM, all of a sudden, I'm seeing names that people are talking about Belieber and stuff. I don't think we're going to be able to afford him at this current moment. You know what I mean? I think Belieber and Wharton are two players that Man United have to be in well positioned for next season to try and get them. Like, United need to be a team that look like their trajectory is going up. Like, the project is going well. We're thriving. Okay, we're knocking on the door of Europe, whatever Europe it may be. Then you get a Wharton. Then you get a Belieber. I think we have to position ourselves because they're not going to be two. They're going to be two players that are in demand, 100%. I don't think Man United are in the market right now for those two. But, do you maybe if we had got that money, you overpay and who knows? But now it looks like that's the 100 million gone and back to planning our season with Bruno Fernandes. And listen, I just think it's a missed opportunity, and that's nothing to do with necessarily him per se, but the money that could have been grabbed. Nobody else at the club is generating that money for us. He's 31 years old soon. He's played so many minutes. He's played so much football. Have we seen the best of Bruno at Man United? Probably. Are we ever going to see... I feel like each season, maybe we're going to start seeing something pull back. And now with Cunha and Buemu there, we're going to have to require Bruno to be a lot more disciplined. I'm not saying that... Because even some stages this season, he was playing 10. He did show an element of discipline this season playing 8. I thought he was best playing 8. Because I don't think he's the greatest on the half turns for a 10. But now we're going to need to see a even more disciplined version of Bruno, because he's going to have two people in front of him who want to score goals, who want to fly forward more, compared to when it's Kobe or we're just throwing any players. There's Xerxes, sometimes Garnacho, Mount. We're just doing whatever. But he has a lot of license. And now maybe the license ain't going to be as much. So are we going to get an even more disciplined Bruno? And then even then what does that look like? Do you know what I mean? What does that look like? So for me, that's a bit of a downer. It's a bit of a downer. But listen, he's still Bruno Fernandes. He'll still find a way to contribute. Let's see how he goes about that. Do you get what I mean? Like, let's see how we go about doing that. But then, that was one part of my morning. I was like, okay, man, I want some centre midfielders, but yeah, this is disappointing. And then I get another message that Chelsea have released Jadon Sancho back to Manchester United. He's back. Jadon Sancho's back at Man United. We get a measly £5 million fee. £5 million. People are talking about what do they say? Amortization or whatever it is, amortized or whatever they're talking about. They're talking about that cost. That's actually 9 million in amortized money. I'm like, bro. This guy, apparently he wanted 200k. Chelsea were not trying to pay anywhere near that. I don't understand why this wasn't discussed and understood before the loan or even at some point during the season. Why is that only being decided now? Chelsea wanted to get him on nearly half. I don't know if it's half the wages that he's on at Manchester United. He refused. He wanted apparently his 200. That's the noise that's coming out. I don't know what's coming out from his team, but that's the noise that's coming out from the media. He wanted a certain fee. Chelsea didn't want to give it. And then Chelsea said, you know what? Thank you very much. Kick rocks. Go back to your parent club. And they're going to be getting Jamie Gittins, it seems. And Ekitike or whoever they're after. And it's like, now where does that leave Man United? A lot of people are saying, oh, regardless, he's going to go. I mean, unless a Saudi offer comes in, and would Jadon Sancho even want to go to Saudi? But unless a Saudi offer comes in, what's the market for Sancho? Because I just seen that West Ham and Man United were having discussions over Kudus and Sancho, which would have been amazing, by the way. And they said they didn't see a plan for him in their team or something like that. But who's going to pay that amount of money that he probably wants? So if he does want a 200k, who is paying Sancho 200k other than Manchester United currently and Chelsea, who didn't want to do it? It has to be Saudi, because it's all these teams that you think about, the Milans and the Inters and the Juves and these teams where players just go there and you feel like you don't see them or hear from them again. They're not going to afford that type of money. So do you know what this is sounding like again? Loan with option to buy. Loan. First and foremost, quickly, has anybody in the history of life ever heard of a loan with obligation to buy? Not option. Loan with obligation to buy. Has anybody ever heard of that being not honoured? Not getting honoured? How is this possible? How can you not have an obligation fulfilled? Who failed here? Was it Man United? Is it Sancho? Did Chelsea go back on their word? What is going on? How is it possible for an obligation? It means you have to do it. You have to do it. You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. Oh. You don't have a choice. You know when you're at home and your mum says, wash the plates. Wash the plates. You don't have a choice. You don't have an option. You are obliged to wash the plates. If you ain't washing the plates, your PS2 is getting taken. Your Game Boy, your PSP, your Nintendo, your Sega, your Dreamcast, your PS1, your PS3, your PS4, your PS5. Kneel down and raise your hand. Whatever. You're getting punished. Because you're obliged. How did Chelsea get away with this? Punish them. 5 million is not enough. 5 million is not enough. Chelsea. You got it. You got away. You got away. You got away. Bowley, you little dancer. Win Stanley, you little dancer. God. Back to what I was saying. Who's going to really take it? So it sounds like it's going to be loan with option to buy until his contract runs out. And Jadon Sancho leaves Manchester United for free. That's what it feels like. If I'm Sir Jim right now, or any of these people, I'm on the phone right now trying to get into Saudi. I don't know if he would want that. But it feels like Jadon Sancho is going to end up just leaving the club for free eventually. Because realistically, he knows his time is over at Man United. We all know it. You know, even if there was any glimmer of hope of maybe he could come back, and he's never had beef with Amorim. His beef was with Ten Hag, and he did that little freedom thing. Yeah, he lost himself with the fans. He's lost himself with the fans. You know, freedom fighter. They're calling him, bro. He got sent straight back to Guantanamo Bay. You're back. Yeah. You know when you're in jail. And your boy gets freed. Then all of a sudden he's back. And you're like, oh, that wasn't long. You know what I mean? He's talking about, yo, I ain't ever coming back, bro. Yo, you know what? I'm going to start talking to the kids. I'm going to start doing youth work. And yo, bro, I'm going to start educating. Yo, man, them don't get off the roads. That next thing you know, you see him back. You're like, oh, yo, bro, what happened to... Oh, yeah, you know, I just got caught up in a little madness, like a past madness. You know what I'm saying? Oh, so you're back. That's where he's with Jadon Sancho. Oh, so you're back. God damn. 125 million Man United could have made. This week. This week we could have been 125 million up. And now we're back to zero. And now we're back to, now Garnacho gotta go. For PSR reasons. Oh my God. And I just seen Edison, who Man United are linked with, is now linked with going to Al Hilal because the Bruno did. I don't know if they're doing that just to spite us. Yo, go and get their targets. Go and get their targets, bro. Well, who do they want? I'll go and get him, man. Go and get him. What they want? Come here, man. That's how it's feeling now. Al Hilal about to be some serious threats all of a sudden. I gotta watch my shoulder. Al Hilal are coming. You know what I'm saying? The ends ain't safe no more, bro. Al Hilal are lurky. God damn it. I'm having a very bad day. A very, very bad day. Guys, my vlog has been sent for approval by UEFA. I sent it to them because there's some things like on the match that I showed. The vlog will be coming soon. Don't forget, as you can see behind me, SGA. I will be doing a watch along for the playoff finals. That's going to be my playback. Follow my playback. But I'll also try and see if I can get up on here as well. But on playback, I can watch. You can watch me watching the game with the actual game playing. On this one, you'll only see like the scoreline or whatever. But guys, I'm having a very bad day. I'm off. Like, share, subscribe, turn notifications on. It's your boy CultureCams. You know what we're doing. I think we're on 30k. Let's try and get to 40k, 50k. We're chasing them numbers now. You know. So close. Yet so far.